We've been talking a lot about, on this program, what really would be good for America. Today, my friend and the co-pastor of Faith Temple Church in Rapid City, Troy Carr, is here. And Troy, you and I have just been talking a little bit about what would be good for America.
Yes.
And you have some thoughts.
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me, and it's my first time here. I'm a little nervous, so you got to help me.
Well, yeah, we'll get a sweat rag because I can tell this is going to be tough.
Well, what I was talking about is we live in a society where everything is going faster and advancing faster. We have better cell phones. You can take pictures with your cell phones now, movies with your cell phones. And I had mentioned to you that sometimes going backwards or back to where things are more simple is really actually how you go forward. And it's kind of a weird concept, you go back to go forward. But I think we're so concentrated on zooming faster, faster cars, battery cars, all these. Now you have 3D TVs.
Yes.
Now, standard definition wasn't enough. Then we went to high definition. Now, so everything is going better, faster. And sometimes I think going back to a simpler day, a simpler time, it would actually help our country go forward.
You know, Troy, Ronald Reagan said in one of his debates with Jimmy Carter, are we better off today than we were 4 years ago?
Exactly.
And what you're saying is, you're making the case that with all the technological advances,
yes,
that we may indeed not be better off today.
I think that's my main point. I think there's something to be said for the simple lifestyle. My grandfather would always talk about how his entertainment outside was a stick and a ball and maybe some rocks if he was lucky.
So you're suggesting we should park our cars and all of us get a horse?
Something like that, even though I've never ridden a horse before. I know all the kids now that have electronic devices are probably not liking me quite right now because, our kids' hands are basically glued like this. There's probably going to be a therapy needed for shoulder muscles. But yeah.
But you're not really talking about the technological advances
not so
as much as you are about the way we live and the principles we use to guide our lives.
Correct. I had a thought in my mind to issue a challenge to all your bloggers that what if we substituted all the laws that we have right now for the 10 Commandments? Thou shalt not kill, steal, covet thy neighbor's wife, honor the Lord thy God with all thy heart. Those 10 Commandments, what if we lived by that? I have a challenge when I teach Sunday school. If we just lived by one, I want the viewers to think about this. If our country, God says 10, but if we lived by one commandment, how many problems would be solved if nobody fornicated? Just that one. Just let your mind think what all the conditions and social issues,
all the things that
would be
change.
solved if we just followed that one.
Well, and I think Christ said, you love your neighbor as yourself, and love the Lord thy God with all your heart.
Correct.
How much more basic could it be?
Yeah. And people are trying, and what's really funny about it, God has established what is right and would be good for the world. We trash that and want to do our own thing. We want to try to legislate morality, and now we have all these things, when does a fetus, and God says don't kill. How much more simple can you get than that? Yeah, we don't need the Supreme Court to understand
volumes.
That. Yes.
And we've, even with the, there are people who are headlong in support of Obamacare, and then there are those of us who are absolutely opposed to that government intervention as we see it. But what would happen if we just took care of our neighbors?
If the Bible provides, and let me just say this before I forget this thought, and the thing about my proposal of the 10 Commandments, it's not like what we're doing or using is working.
Yeah, how's that working out for us
all
so
the
far?
laws that we have, the jails are increasing, people are still killing, shooting, we have, cities with crime rates. So obviously, everything that we've tried to do to legislate people's, don't speak, don't do all this is not working.
Yes, you know, I have a friend whose mission in life is to post the Ten Commandments.
Okay. Yes.
You've
yes.
got one of the
Yes,
car
I do.
magnets on one of your
Yes, I do.
vehicles. And
That's
he
right.
makes the assertion that what we know is the Word of God says the Word will not return void.
Exactly.
And so if we begin to post the Ten Commandments, and some people will say, well, that's the Old Testament and we're living under the New Covenant, but God is the same yesterday, today, and forever.
Well, I don't care if thou shalt not lie is in the Old Testament or in the New Testament. The fact is, this world would be a better place if we followed that commandment.
Boy, that's a powerful thought.
Yes.
You know, and you could take your pick if you any one of the 10.
Any
if we
one of
just did that one.
And multiply that by the 9 other ones.
Oh my goodness. What a different world we would live in.
Yes, it would be a better world.
Pastor Carr, thank you for sharing with our viewers. And we'll be talking more with Pastor Troy Carr, so you'll want to tune in next week.